All right, guys, good afternoon. 1 o'clock on October 3rd. Today we are going to work on campaigns. All right, so we are going to start in Command, and we are going to be focusing today on this applet right here with the megaphone called Campaigns. All right, now the goal and the objection of today is we are going to go through the Campaigns section. This is where you can create paid social media posts on sites like Facebook or right now Google AdWords, Instagram. So paid advertisements. And then the other side of it is going to be, we're also going to be looking at how to just post, use a scheduler to post on your social media, right? So if you're going on vacation or whatever it's going to be, we can actually go into Command now, schedule your social media postings, so that when you're away on your trip or whatever's going to happen, you're still having posts come up on your business page. Many of us might use a program like Hootsuite right now to do a very similar type of system. All right. So we did a great class this morning on designs. I just finished having that video downloaded, so I'll post that one when we are finished this class if you wanted to go back and watch that. We're recording this one, so I will certainly take questions throughout the day or throughout the class, for the next hour. But if you miss anything, just know I'm going to post this. You'll be able to go back and fast forward really quickly and get to where you may have gotten stuck or have a question. Make sense? Okay. All right. So we're actually going to start in the settings. The reason we're going to start there is the first step to be able to use this section is to tie your social media platforms into Command. All right. So that's where we're going to start. So we're actually going to go. I'm going to move you guys down here to the bottom. We're going to go over here to the drop down. We're going to click on Settings. Okay. And then in the Settings section over here, in the Settings sections over here, we are going to see a few different applets. Now, mine are connected. All right. I would like to point out you are going to see two different Facebook applets in here. All right. One is the Facebook Ads Manager. So this is the one of actually, if you want to do paid advertising, it's the same login. So it's very easy. It's your same Facebook login. But if you want to do paid Facebook advertising, you need to make sure that this is connected here. If you want to do paid Twitter advertising, you need to make sure that your Twitter account is connected here. Same thing with Google AdWords. Now, I've gotten a question a few times about Instagram. Instagram is not one of these different apps.
I'm on. If anybody wants to come in.
Let me do this real fast. I'm gonna see if I can pull you guys back up. All right, I'm just gonna keep rolling here. All right, so you have Facebook ads, Twitter ads. At the top or somewhere else within the screen, you're also gonna see Facebook post scheduling, right? So there's two Facebooks, one's for ads, one's for post, and then also Twitter post scheduling. So these are for your free posting, right? And then these ones down here are the paid accounts. So step one is simply coming in and connecting your social media accounts to Command. All right. Now, before I keep going there, any questions on that aspect? Nope. Okay. Let me do this. I'm trying to pull your faces back up. I lost them. Let me see if I can switch this real fast, guys. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure I can see and be able to mute people if I need to. Yeah. Let's see, participants. All right, so I'm going to mute everybody. All right, so if you want to jump back on, just go ahead and click on unmute. All right. Okay, so I've got the chat feature up over here too. So if you have any questions, we can go through that chat feature. If we need to. All right, so what we're going to do next is once we have those social media accounts connected, any questions on that at all? All good? All right.
Hey, Kyle, I do actually have a question.
Sure.
I wasn't able to hook up my paid Twitter account. Is it because I've never run Twitter ads before? Do I have to start a second Twitter account?
Correct. Yeah, so in the Facebook side of things, I can't see your faces, guys. I'm just going to roll with it. I don't want to keep stalling. So if you have questions, definitely jump up or put on the chat feature because I just can't see it. All right, so Twitter, yes, you have to have an ads account already set up. So if you click connect account, it says this connection requires a Twitter account that has already been created. All right, so that is specific for Twitter. For Facebook, you don't need to have an extra account already set up in Facebook. You're just going to log in with your Facebook. Okay, so good question there. All right, so we're going to connect our social media. The next place we're going to go to over here is we're going to go to campaigns. All right, which is this little megaphone. Remember that the KW red symbol up here can be clicked on, and it'll bump out all the names of the different applets. Right, so I'll bump it out, campaigns. Once I get used to it, I can drop back in, and I'll go back over here to campaigns. All right, so next step is going to be decide what type of ad are you trying to run. So when you're on paid campaigns, you're going to see paid campaigns, emails, direct mail, and social posts. For today's class, we're going to focus on the two outside ones. We're going to focus on paid campaigns and social posting. Emails is coming soon. And so this is where you'll be able to create your mailing lists. Let's say all of your buyers as an example, and you will be able to send them a 33 touch or an 8x8. Bulk mailing email will be through here when we get that new email provider hooked up. Direct mail, I'll click on this real fast, is a way that you can actually go in and create postcards and send directly to a mailer. All right, so you could actually click create new and do a direct mail piece, and it'll try to help you, figure out what you're trying to accomplish with your direct mail. Now, I just want to point this out in the mailing section because we're not going to spend a lot of time here. Anyone that was on my designs class earlier today at 11, we had talked about hooking up a printer to those designs. So this isn't working yet, but I do want to show you that there is now a radio button when you create a print material, direct mail material, where you can now upload your designs you created in that other applet directly into this section so you can mail it out all from within command. Okay? So let's focus on paid campaigns and social posts. Very obvious, right? These over here are the ones in which we're actually paying for through command. All right? Now, when you create different ads, you can create drafts, and they'll be here as a status. As you create your different ads, you're also going to see them lined up right here on the main screen. Now, this is an ad that I ran for Keller Williams Fairfax Gateway. All right, and so what I did was it was a recruiting ad because I was just trying to test out this system for all of you guys. It was a recruiting ad, and so you can see here are the results. So I can drop this down, and I only ran it on Facebook. And so I ran this ad for 10 days. I had 1,800 impressions, 66 clicks, and 3 leads captured. Right? I spent $100. We're going to talk more about budgets and those types of things in a couple minutes. Right? So 1,800 people watched. This was actually a video instead of it being a picture or something like that. It was actually a video. 66 people clicked on the link that said learn more. Doesn't mean I capture all their information, but then I did capture 3 leads. And when you use this system, instead of going through maybe the Facebook ad accelerator, it's already tied into your command. So when those 3 leads come in and they click the button to submit their contact information, they're created as a contact in your command database, and they're given the tag Facebook lead ad. Okay, so that's one of the big advantages maybe of running your ads through Facebook is all of these leads that you capture are going to go directly into my my contact section in command. All right, any questions so far? All right, let's see. All right, so let's keep rolling. Now, you have the opportunity to create your ads and run the same ad on multiple channels. So in just a second, I'm going to show you how we're doing Kyle Holloran on Facebook. I could also have done this on my Instagram account, and I could have maybe ran it on Twitter. One of the really, really cool features about this system is we can actually look and compare those 3 different social media networks on how do they compare to each other, how they do versus each other. So I can get an understanding of, okay, if I'm going to be looking for recruits, maybe Facebook was the best place for me to capture leads. But imagine I had Instagram down here, and Instagram captured 7 leads. I can run the same ad and now look at the analytics between the results of both, which will help me with my decision making in the future. So my ad spend might come down, and my return on investment might go up, if that makes sense. Okay. All right, so let's talk about how we're actually going to create an ad. Now, up top here, this is a title bar. So if you're running multiple ads, it'll tell you how many ads you have active, how many leads you captured, how much money you've spent so far. Up here, it says payment information. I would like to point this out. So you do have to pay for your ads, just like if you were going to be paying for your ads through Facebook. So you do have to have a payment on profile. A payment profile on your account. It does give the ability for team leads to give team members on their team to use that card? I've gotten that question a few times. So if I'm a team lead and I want to allow my buyer's agents or agents to run ads, I could put in my credit card and they would have the ability to be able to use my credit card. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is once I put in my credit card, I'm going to start to create my ad. Now up here it says remaining credit $0. So I want to hit this really fast. You have to pay for your ad when it goes live. So if I spent $100 on my ad, let's say, and I ran that ad for 2 or 3 days and I realized there was maybe a grammatical error or I just wanted to shut it down for whatever reason, I can pause or cancel that ad. I will not get a refund of, let's say, $70. So if it ran for $3 days at $10 a day, there might be $70 left. You don't get a refund of that $70. You will get a credit to go towards future Facebook advertisements. All right, because what's happened here is you basically have paid KW. KW has already paid Facebook. And so we can't refund that money, but you're going to get a credit towards your next ad. So I just want everybody to know that this is not a profit center for Keller Williams. It's also not an additional cost to use this versus what it costs to use Facebook. You know, penny for penny, you're still getting the same exposure, whether you do it in Facebook or whether you do it in Command. All right. All right, so we're going to go up here. We're going to click on Create New. So in the Create New section, you have a couple options here, and this is really Create New for any one of these 4 different things up here. It's not specific to just the paid advertisement. So I have an option to do a social ad paid, Google ad paid. This is what we're going to call an organic social post, a free post on your social media, and then again, direct mail and email. So we're going to focus here and here. So let's say we're going to set up a paid ad. I would click on social ad. Now, I don't know about you guys, but learning how to target market on Facebook is a little bit tough. And I've actually gone to some classes where I've walked away and I've been more confused walking away than I was actually walking into the class. So Facebook and KW have built this program together. And it's supposed to take a lot of the guesswork out of how to do this for realtors. So follow the prompts of what you're trying to achieve. So the first step here is typing in an email campaign name. So let me just say test webinar, right? That'll be the name of my campaign. Then here, what are you trying to achieve, right? Are you having a client appreciation party and you're trying to drive traffic there, or a coat drive maybe in the neighborhood? Are you trying to attract buyers, right? If interest rates dropped and so you're trying to look for buyers, are you trying to advertise your listing? Okay, so find buyers maybe interested in this exact listing, or are you trying to find sellers, right? All the people on Facebook, what's happening is we're all clicking on different things. And the things that we click on give information back to Facebook to say, hey, this person is maybe looking to buy a lawnmower, right? And that's why all of a sudden we start getting lawnmower ads. This is the exact same thing. So if people at home are clicking on maybe realtor.com and Zillow and these different web pages, we can actually go find those people by making sure we select the right type of goal that we're trying to accomplish. All right, now I can't see you guys, so I'm going to pause for a second. Any questions on this aspect right here? Remember, you need to unmute yourself. Everybody good? Okay. Oh, I see a chat here. I'm going to go here to the chat box. All right, so Michelle said, love it. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to try to keep this chat up over here so I can see what you guys are saying. All right, so we're going to pick one. So I'll say, let's just say advertise listing in this case. Then down at the bottom here, you need to select where will your campaign run. All right, so I could say Facebook and Instagram because I have those two set up. I did not have a Twitter paid subscription set up as Tanya had just asked in the very beginning. So I can't click Twitter here because I have not hooked up Twitter in the settings section. This is why it's important to make sure this was done first so that we can come in here and now click these buttons. I have had some questions about Instagram. Instagram works through Facebook. So Facebook bought Instagram. So you actually, what you need to do is you need to go into your Instagram settings and you will link your Instagram to your Facebook business account. Once you do that, you'll see both Facebook and Instagram as options on the next page when we go next. All right, so I'm gonna say Facebook and Instagram. I wanna run this ad on both of these platforms. Now I'm gonna click on Set Up Campaign. Okay. Now, this window is gonna pop open. And this window here is asking you if you would like to pick an MLS listing. So I see a question here, can we pay for each ad on a case-by-case basis, or do you have to keep a payment method on file? You only pay for the ads that you're running. So if I want to put a credit card on file, it's just sitting there. I'm not being charged anything. If I wanted to run a $20 ad, it would charge me 20 bucks. But if you wanted to run your ad and then you're not running ads for a while and delete your credit card off of there, you certainly could. But you're not getting charged like a monthly fee or anything. You're only being charged for what you're actually trying to accomplish. Good question. All right, so we're back here. So the first thing that pops up is I can select a listing to pull from. Just like in designs, this is connected to the MLS and the KWLS. So over here, I should have a drop down only my listings. It defaults to active, and if you go to all statuses, hopefully you can find some of your listings here. Now, if you can't find your listing here, it's kind of a common bug that we're seeing. You should be able to find your listing though, even if it's not showing up underneath of only my listings. Go to all listings and search for the property address that you're trying to pull up. So if I come in here and I can type in 404 Dale Road, right, it's the house that I bought last year, and I can click search, and I'm going to try to find that listing. So here it is right here. Once I find the listing, I can click select, and it attaches, right, that listing to my Facebook ad. Now I'm going to pause here. Remember, guys, you should be grabbing your own listings. You shouldn't be grabbing other people's listings to do marketing unless you have permission from them to do so. So even though they're in there, it doesn't mean you can just grab them, right? You still need to make sure you have permission to use it. Now, once I select a listing, you can see there's basically 8 or 9, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 steps they're asking me to walk through. The first one was just the name and the goal, which we did. The second step is picking the listing. Once I select that listing, you're going to see it actually went over into the MLS, and it grabbed the public description and dropped it into the preview for me over here. Okay? We'll get back to more of that in just a second. So then the second option is, or the third one down is, we're going to click on add copy. Now, Facebook gives you some tips here. It says, keep your text short, clear, and to the point to get your message across. Talk about any exciting landmarks or amenities maybe nearby. So I could go in here, and the headline is right here where it says headline to tell others what your advertisement is about. So I could type in coming soon, 4-bedroom, oh, the dollar sign, 4-bedroom home in Severna Park. Right, so as I type here, you're going to see the preview start to get set up over here on the right-hand side. Okay. Then below that, you have this main copy. So it says coming soon, 4 bedrooms there. Main copy split level is what you see up here. It is what is automatically pulled in. Now, one suggestion Facebook gave us is that if this is a much longer description, right? So if I just kept typing here, right, I just keep going and keep going and keep going, you're going to see that what happens is eventually is you get the 3 little ellipses over here, right? Try to make sure whatever you're putting into this graphic, you can read everything. Facebook suggested not having a ... like a read more, because consumers feel like there's a catch on the other side. So make sure all of your text is right here on one screen. Now I got a cool little tip to show you here. So sometimes people use emojis, right, in their Facebook ads. So for this listing, if I wanted to, I could actually come over here, and there's, on most computers, you have something called this little virtual keyboard, right? When I open up this virtual keyboard, I actually get some emojis. So you can see them right here, right? And so I can actually go in here and I can actually pull up some different emojis to have in my ad. So as an example, I might want to come over, let's see, now let me see if I can scroll down here. Right, so there's some really cool ones that are like bedrooms and bathrooms, check buttons. So you can just go through and look at some of these different emojis and figure out, how could you use these things on your ad. So maybe I'll do this little OK button there, right? It pulls in the OK, and I could type in, 3 bedrooms, like check buttons or whatever it's going to be. So anyway, you can use emojis in this main copy so that it shows up over here. This is where you see people maybe use the bed symbol for 3 bedrooms, and then below that, they're going to use, the bathroom, the bathtub, and then write 4 bathrooms. It's kind of a nice little visual for most consumers to see, everything about this house. Okay? So finish out that main copy there, and that's what you're going to see up here on this promoted ad. So I could do 3 bedrooms, and then I could even type, check out this new listing. Right, you guys get the point there, right? So everything I type over here, showing up over here on the right-hand side. Now, once I'm happy with those two things, I can click save, and it's gonna see a little check mark, and it'll say, great, now jump on down here to Facebook. So what I haven't done yet is I have not linked this to my actual Facebook account, or which one of my business pages do I want this ad to run on. So because I set up in my settings my Facebook account, it'll now say what account. I'll say Kyle Holloran. And then I only have one page, which is Keller Williams Fairfax Gateway, a business page that my personal account is attached to. If you have multiple business pages, you would have a drop down here and you should see all of your business pages here. You can actually run ads on different business pages all from the same place. In this case, I'm going to click on Keller Williams Fairfax Gateway. When I select that page over here on the right, it's gone ahead and pulled in my profile from Keller Williams Fairfax Gateway. Right, so it's got the name of the firm there, and then it's got the profile picture from Keller Williams Fairfax Gateway. The next one is this one here, which says awareness or Facebook lead ad. Okay, so some people are getting tripped up here. Awareness, okay, allows you down here later in the system, it allows you to put in a link to your website or where do you want to take somebody. So awareness, if I clicked on learn more, would take me to whatever this URL is that you put in 2 more steps. Okay? If I go back up to this Facebook ad, go back up to the Facebook section, 2 options here, awareness or Facebook lead ad. Facebook lead ad is where when someone clicks on learn more, or we'll actually be able to pick one of these buttons here. When someone clicks that, it doesn't take them out of Facebook to a different website. It actually opens a little lead form that says name, phone number, email address, and all the person has to do is hit submit. So it's actually pre-filled in for them, and they just have to click submit. So in the ad that I ran, I did Facebook lead ad, right? And then when they clicked on learn more over here, a box would pop up here, and it would say, you know, John Snow at gmail.com, and whatever information that Facebook had about John Snow, and then he would have to click submit. So I had 3 people do that, if that makes sense, thinking back to my results. I had 66 people click on learn more, right? So I got 66 people to the next screen, and then 3 of them actually submitted. And for me, my call to action was to meet with them and go over Keller Williams technology. All right. So Facebook lead ad and awareness. Just while I'm on here, you'll notice if I go down to this add destination link, I've lost the opportunity to send somebody to a website because it doesn't work the same way. It's 2 different things. So on this one, I'm going to choose, right, what is this button going to say? So I could say maybe sign up and then click save, right? And then it's actually Facebook trying to do lead capture for you. If you did the other one, so again, if you went back and you did awareness, right, and you come back down here to add destination link, now, right, you have the opportunity to do the button, right, same thing. But instead of it going to an internal Facebook form for them to fill out, it's going to take them over here, you know, to your website or whatever it's going to be, and then it's your responsibility to try to capture that lead once they get onto your website. Okay, so here's a use case example. On Facebook, maybe I'm going to have a first-time buyers guide, and my ad is promoting that first-time buyers guide. My call to action would be, you know, sign up or, you know, click here or learn more. And when they fill out the form and I capture their information, I'm saying I would send them that buyer's guide, right? So I'm actually trying to capture information rather than taking them to my website where they can maybe download the buyer guides from my website. So 2 different things. All right, I'm going to pause there for a second because I get a lot of questions on this. What questions do you guys have around the difference between the ad types of awareness and Facebook lead? Remember, you can unmute yourself if you want to jump in. Nothing? I can't see you guys, so I can't see everyone shaking their head. Okay, makes sense, I guess. So I'm going to keep going. So awareness, Facebook lead ad. So in my case, I would click on Facebook lead ad. So we did get a chat over here. Let's see what we got. Give us a case use for awareness. Okay. Case use for awareness might be I'm promoting a new listing, right? And so I might have a a website. Here, I'll give you an example. This is my old Playster website, right? My Playster website that's still up. So if I go to kyleholloran.com, you know, maybe I have a website that is pulled up to, I don't know, a property address. Let's just look at 21108. Okay. So, all right, so this is a property. All right, let's just pull up this one here, like Kinder Way. Actually, this is gonna work. Go to my other link. Okay, so it's my Playster website, and then when I click on a listing, this could also maybe be a command landing page, and then some of you guys have seen that before. But maybe I go in here, and so here's an example, 21108, right? I typed that into the search bar. So this link up here actually is a search on my website of 21108. So I might grab this link up here and hit copy, and then on my Facebook ad, right, I could do awareness, and then down here I could send them to that link, right? So I click paste there, and instead of this being a you know, advertising a listing, this maybe would be a, if I go back up here and I did my headline, I could change this to be search all properties in 21108, right? And then when they go down here to learn more, it actually takes them to this page inside of that search. Okay, so I'm trying to offer more than just trying to capture the lead. So to me, that would be maybe a use case of how I would use the awareness versus the other one. Okay, Jackie, where does the translation come in if the prospect needs to translate our ad in order to read it? So that's all done on Facebook side. So Facebook does all of the, they do all the translation on the Facebook side. Veronica, will the Facebook lead capture be priced per click? So it depends on what you're trying to accomplish here. So if we go back, when we go back to the beginning, I'll show you cost per lead, right, only happens when you have the lead generation ad, okay, because that's actually then saying, here's how many leads you captured. So I did this one, and I captured 3 leads. If you do awareness, you're not gonna have anything in the cost per lead section. So actually, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna click Save as Draft real fast, because you can do that at any point. Let me come back over to my main screen, right? And then here, right, if I drop this down, it's telling me I had 1799, 66 impressions, and 3 leads captured, right? If you do the lead awareness one with the link taking them to your website, this will always be 0, right? You have clicks, right? And you know that's how many people may have went to your website, but there's no way for Facebook to know once they got there how many leads were actually generated. All right, so hopefully that answers that question there. All right, again, I saved it as a draft, guys, so here it is right here. I can click on these 3 little ellipses, and I can go back in to finish working on my campaign. So let's finish this one through. All right, so imagine it still had that up top there. Let's leave search all properties. I go into Facebook. Now remember that I had connected it to a listing, right? It had originally pulled in that text from that listing. Because I added it to a listing, okay, I also have all the photos from that listing. So I can simply click on a photo and it'll bring the photo in. I can click on multiple photos and it will create a carousel. All right, so it'll create a carousel.
So Kyle, can you hear me?
I can.
So when I try to switch from awareness to Facebook lead ad, I've been trying it over and over again. It tells me, please select page first.
Okay. Yep.
But when I follow the steps, it tells me I'm already connected. I've disconnected and reconnected a couple of times. What do you think's going on?
Okay, so when you're right here, you are able to select your page.
Yep.
And then you go here to Facebook lead ad.
Mm-hmm.
And what does it say?
I can't click on it. When I click on it, it says, please select page first.
Okay, and there is something in here. Because there's two of them, right? Select account and then select page.
Let me check. Yeah, my page is there.
Okay, so after we're done here, Tanya, let's kind of follow up and let me see maybe what bug you're running into there, because I'm not seeing that on my side. It should work just like this. I'm doing it live, obviously.
Thanks.
Let's go look at it, all right?
Thank you.
All right, so you can do the pictures, right? Again, you can also do video. So I ran a video. If you guys shot a 1-minute long video, imagine if it said, hi, my name is Kyle Holloran from Annapolis, Maryland. I've lived here for 15 years and specialized in Severna Park neighborhood, right? If you are targeting a buyer, maybe you want to put that video in front of them and let them get to know you a little bit, and then maybe they're more likely to click on something. So you have the option of doing photos or videos for this ad. Okay. Now, this is pretty cool. We've talked about this before. Target My Database is where if you have in your contacts inside of Command, if you either have their Facebook profile in the contact card or the email that you have in their contact card matches their login email for Facebook, Facebook and Command can figure out that we have the same person, right? And so instead of maybe sending out this ad on this new listing that I have, instead of putting that in front of a bunch of random people who don't know who I am, I could actually target my database and have Facebook just put that in front of people that are in my database. Now, there is a couple catches here. One of them is you have to have a minimum audience. And so that's from Facebook. Facebook can't take 10 people and just do a Facebook ad to those 10 people. So you need to make sure you have enough people in your database to be able to qualify for what Facebook considers to be a custom audience. All right, it's not working right now. So if I clicked on Target My Database, I just want to show you, the first thing you have to do is create an audience. So it could be either your entire database, or you can actually create a new audience, and you can create an audience by tag. So let's say I wanted to create an audience called buyer, and I can go down here and I can actually select my buyer tag. I will be able to create a custom audience. Again, I'm getting an error. Everyone's going to get this error right now. It's not working. But what, again, eventually I'd be able to do is come over here and say, Target My Database, and just send this out to all of my buyers I've ever met at open houses or whatever it's going to be. So when my ad pops up on their Facebook as they're scrolling through, they remember me, right? Or they know that we've had a connection at some point. The way to do it right now is select a custom audience. So this is where we're going to say to Facebook, all right, Facebook, we're going to help you try to identify some of the people we're looking for. And together, we're going to hopefully generate some leads. So the first step is right here, location. Where do you want this ad to run? So I could come down here and I could say Fairfax, right? And then I would select Fairfax, Virginia. All right, you can see that Facebook is basically telling us there are 2.7 million Facebook users within 20 miles of Fairfax, Virginia. So that's the estimated target reach when all we have in is Fairfax, Virginia. I suggest you lower the radius because 20 miles from Fairfax is Maryland, right? So you wouldn't want to be attracting Maryland buyers if you're not licensed there. The lowest you can go is 15 miles. Again, that's a new Facebook rule after they got in trouble with the whole Cambridge Analytica situation. All right, so 15 miles there. You can see once I dropped that down to 15 miles, it dropped down to 2 million Facebook users. Now, obviously, I think DC Metro is included in this number because we're within 15 miles of Fairfax. So that's why it's such a big number. But I also don't want to be sending it to over 2 million people, right? So the next option here is you can target by interest. This is an and or statement, and or statement. So let's think about this. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, so I do ads directly through Facebook already. Mm-hmm. And when I create the custom audiences in Facebook, I can go specifically by zip code, not the 15-mile radius.
Okay.
Is that a command rule?
Yeah, so 15 miles is actually, like Facebook has published this. That's the minimum that you can go now on the targeting. I'm not sure how zip codes work into it because I don't really do Facebook ads on the other side. I know that this is being enhanced, so we've already seen a lot of new features as they build out this program here. But I would say if you get success and you can do more targeted marketing from Facebook, then maybe you stay there until the command side reaches up.
Okay.
Okay. So this is what they've given us now. All right. So 15 miles, and then interests, right? And these are interests that Facebook is gonna generate for us. So let's think about this. I'm trying to advertise my listing, and I would like to attract the right people. What are some interests I may target by? Who's got a thought? Anybody? All right, so I can type in some things here, maybe like Zillow, right? Buyers might be on Zillow or maybe something like realtor.com. You're gonna get this little pop-up from Facebook, and it shows you what maybe the audience size is for Zillow. Click on Zillow. You can see it drop down. Oh, cancel, I hit the wrong button. You can see it just drop down here into suggested interests. So now we've gone from 2 million people to 310,000. right? So originally, if you had tried this originally, it was set up as an or statement. And so some people jumped right into this thing when it first launched and they actually didn't get some good results. And it's because, I'm sorry, it defaulted to an and statement. So someone would put in Zillow and Realtor.com and Fairlakes. And Facebook was trying to find somebody that matched all three of those things, not just one of those things. So now there's an and or statement, and you can add those down here into interests. All right, so 310,000. Now, a note on this real fast, guys. Put some thought into the way that you are targeting people, right? If you are looking for a luxury buyer, is the example we've talked about in the training this past 2 weeks as I traveled around. If you're looking for a luxury buyer, be careful using keywords like luxury cars, like Ferrari or something, because yes, maybe wealthy people like Ferraris, but so does my 12-year-old nephew. And so you want to try to find interests to help Facebook get a little bit closer. So in the case of maybe a wealthy buyer, maybe you're looking for somebody who's interested in Merrill Lynch, because that's something that a wealthy person may be interested in, but not a 17-year-old, let's say. Okay. So once you select those interests, you're going to go down to the next section. So I'll click Save. Now remember, I clicked Instagram and Facebook. So because I did that, I now have a drop down here for Instagram. And it's going to say, okay, Instagram. And over here, what Instagram page do I want to go on? Same thing, I want it to go on Keller Williams Fairfax Gateway. Now, what I can do up top here is it says preview your ad, and it's a drop down. So I'm previewing it in Facebook. I could go over and click on preview it in Instagram. Right, so that's your drop down if you're doing multiple channels. This is the way that you can look at it from here. All right, what kind of ad do I want it to be? An ad or story? Same thing, photo or video. I'll select that first picture there. This will allow me to crop the photo. All right, hit crop. And then same thing down here, set a custom audience. Same thing, search by interest, and then go ahead and click Save. All right, then add destination link. This is what we talked about before. So since I did an ad on Facebook, right, it has the sign up right now as that button. If I wanted to change that button to say apply now or learn more, I could certainly do that, and it would change it over here. And then the very last thing is budget and duration. So here are some suggestions. I got to go to Facebook headquarters in Austin when we were down for Mega Camp. A couple suggestions they said is that you should run your ad for 10 days. And the reason that is because every day that you run your ad, the artificial intelligence, the machine learning is getting closer to the type of people who are clicking on the ad. So it's not uncommon that when you launch an ad, day 1, you don't see many results. Day 2, you don't see many results. Day 3, you might see 2 or 3 clicks. Day 4, it goes to 17. Day 5, it goes to 50. The reason that's happening is because Facebook's learning, okay, who clicked on that ad on day 1? Let's go study that person's digital DNA, and then let's go find more people like that on day 2. So be careful canceling your ads early because you haven't given the machine learning enough time to go figure out who is the target market and who's actually going to click on this ad. Now, the other thing is when we complete this ad and I submit it to Facebook, it has to go through the Facebook ad approval process, just like if you were launching them on Facebook. So there can be a delay, usually of 24 hours, sometimes longer, on that ad being accepted and then published on Facebook. So if you're trying to do an open house on Saturday, don't wait until Friday to build out this ad because it may not be launched by Saturday. Okay? So when will your campaign run? I put October 4th defaults here because, again, I can't start it right away. So I can't start on October 3rd because I have not been approved. Some people have been getting rejected. One of the reasons for that is because they don't want too many words on your photos. So if this was like an event invitation and it was all words and then words and words down here, Facebook doesn't like the look of that on Facebook, and so they reject your ad. All right, so hopefully they give you some reasoning on why they've rejected your ad, but I haven't had any of that happen yet, and mine have been approved. Last thing's down here. What is your total campaign spend? All right, so let's say I wanted to do $100, right? It splits 50-50 between Instagram and Facebook, and what they have suggested is that you do, right, whatever you're gonna do it the same amount every single day. So because I'm doing $100, right, for 10 days, that means $5 a day, $10 a day total, $5 on Facebook or $5 on Instagram. If I felt like this property was better suited for one over the other, I could change this here and I could say, I want to do $80 on Instagram and we're only going to do $20 on Facebook and hit save. So remember, as you run ads, you'll be able to go back and look and see which one performed better. At some point, the AI is reading all of our ads, right? And they're seeing all the results that are coming back in from those ads. There will be a point where I come in here to go create an ad, and I put in the property address, and it'll say, hey, based on other Keller Williams agents running ads similar to this in a similar price point, a similar location, we suggest that you spend more money on Instagram than you do Facebook, which would be a great benefit, obviously, for us to know where am I going to get a bigger bang for my buck on this process. Okay. Someone asked what defines interests a person has on Facebook. I'm not sure of that exact answer. I know just like anything else, right? Facebook is looking at what pages have we clicked on, not only pages we clicked on, what pages have we visited recently, right? I think that's all the information that they're gathering in the background to figure out, where we are and what we're looking for. Okay. All right, so that's the end of the ad process. And again, this doesn't look great. I wouldn't actually publish this one, obviously, but just wanted to run you guys through this whole system here. Look back over at Instagram and make sure Instagram looks good the way that I like it. Okay, and then I would go down here to the bottom and then obviously click on Save. Right? Then Publish Campaign. Once I do that, it is going to bring you back out here, and you'll get a little status. It'll say pending. That means it's at Facebook waiting to be approved. Once it's approved, it'll turn green and it will say approved and active, right? And then you'll start to see all of your numbers from those campaigns starting to filter in, okay? Now, there's one downfall right now that I know about. This is just a pro tip. Obviously, I'm just trying to teach you guys what we have here. I don't build this program. The leads come in tagged as Facebook lead ad. Okay, so these 3 people actually came into my database and they were tagged as Facebook lead ad. The problem is if you're running multiple ads, everyone comes in and they're tagged the exact same thing. So if I were then going to go call somebody and ask them, hey, I saw you click on my ad, I can't distinguish right now which ad they're coming from. So if you're running multiple ads, that might be a problem. This week, that's supposed to be fixed, where the tag will say Facebook lead ad dash and then the actual ad that they came off of. All right, so that's just one thing I know about right now. All right, I'll stop for questions. What questions do you guys have right now? I saw Wally just asked a question. Can you save an audience? Wally, if it's like a custom audience that you're building, like buyers, yeah, once you build that once, that audience is saved, and then you'll just be able to recall it. You won't have to create that audience every single time. All right, any other questions here on this part? Okay, just so you know, if an ad is running, you can come over here and you can stop that ad. You do that by clicking on these 3 ellipses. Obviously, none of mine are currently running. You can also duplicate this campaign. So if this is a listing campaign and you want to keep targeting people who are, or a new listing campaign, you want to keep targeting people who live within 15 miles of Fairfax that like Zillow, like Realtor.com, you can simply duplicate the campaign and then just switch the listing and then hit submit. Right, so a little bit of a trick there, so you're not going through that entire process every single time. All right, so back to interests. I see someone says, for a moment, so interests are not something we choose in our own Facebook profiles, correct? Yeah, so my understanding is, I definitely have some things that I'm interested in my profile, but Facebook's not only seeing that, they're seeing whatever I'm clicking on, what links I'm clicking on, what ads I'm clicking on. So yeah, I don't think it's an exact, I typed it in and said I'm a first-time home buyer. They're using artificial intelligence seeing your activity and determining, who may be a first-time home buyer. Okay, good questions. All right, so that is the paid advertisement side, right? I've seen some people getting some really good success with some different leads in here. So it might be worth it. If you take a listing, try put it up for 25 bucks, run it for, $2.50 a day and see if you can capture some leads. Now, another question somebody has not asked me yet, which is surprising, is notifications. This is going to be fixed on October 8th, right? So that's next Tuesday. When these 3 leads come into my system right now, I don't get any sort of notification. And I understand that's obviously necessary, so I know someone has been captured. So that will be next Tuesday. You'll get a Kelly alert on your phones and that you've captured a new lead, and then slide here to view. You can also set it up where you'll be able to create an email, and you'll be able to get an email and it'll say you've captured a new lead from Facebook. All right, so look for those notifications next Tuesday. I think that'll make everything a little bit easier. So Tim said, if you have a listing coming but not yet in Command or MLS, can you create the campaign ahead of time? Yeah, absolutely. So if I went in here, let's create a new one. I'll create a new ad. I'll do a social ad paid. Let's say advertise a listing, and I have coming soon 1, 2, 3. Right, and I'm going to run that on Facebook and click Setup Campaign. So it pops out and it asks me to select a listing. If you don't want to select a listing, click the X button up here in the top right-hand corner, and it'll just go away, and it doesn't bring in any sort of listing. Now, I'm not going to use this listing section. I'm actually going to go down here to Facebook, and remember, Facebook allows me to upload any images I want. So since I didn't select a listing, there's no images here, but I could click on Images, upload a photo. Right, and I could upload a photo from my computer if I wanted to. Let's see. Right, I come in here and upload this photo. This is my coming soon listing. Hit next, and then I can use that photo here. Right, so Tim, as long as you have photos of your listing, it doesn't necessarily need to be in the MLS right away. Okay. All right, let's see what else we got here. Okay. Anything else on that side of things, guys? Any questions on how to set up your paid advertisements?
Do you know for when the notifications come, if you can create rules as to having other people on your team receive the notifications instead of you?
Yes. So what is coming is October 8th and October 15th is the rollout of, the two big rollouts are team permissions and notifications. And so with team permissions, you will be able to set up, this person is within my command and they can see and access and do all of these things. So yes, you will be able to do that. You will be able to say, send that notification to my admin or the buyer's agent or the listing agent if it was a listing ad, if that makes sense. So yes, that is anticipated to be part of the rollout. Next question I got is, what info does the lead capture form include? Good question. So I think it defaults to name, email address, phone number. And again, those three things auto-populate in from my Facebook profile. So I don't actually have to sit there and type in Holloran at gmail.com. It auto-populates, and I would just have to click the submit button. Yeah. I know an ad manager, I believe when you do those types of Facebook lead capture ads, there's a checkbox where you can add more boxes for them to fill out. We don't have that opportunity yet. So same thing, maybe if you wanted more boxes, you could use the Facebook one, but I got name, email address, phone number, and that allows me to obviously go out and start marketing to those people. Last thing on this paid side, because I want to hit social before we go. We do have smart plans coming, right? And smart plans are a way that you can go in and you can create a smart plan around a trigger. All right, this will be out in November. So smart plans is in my QA version. We've been playing with it. I'll give you a use case of how this will work with campaigns like we just looked at. I could come in here and I could create a smart plan. Yep, my smart plans, I can't do them here, but I could create a smart plan. I could create the trigger for that smart plan to be kicked off as a new lead added by a certain ad. Okay, so I could come into a smart plan and say, create a new smart plan. The trigger is when I get a new lead from 123 Main Street Facebook ad. All right, and the automation plan would be automatically send a text message to them, thanking them for filling out the form on Facebook and asking them if they have any questions about 123 Main Street, right? And then the second automation would be 10 minutes later, send them an email with other properties available in the same neighborhood. Now, I would set that up ahead of time, but what that would do for me is as my Facebook ad's out there running for 10 days, right, out on Facebook world, if it was 2 o'clock in the morning and someone clicked on that ad, it would actually send out a text message on your behalf right away and say, hey, and try to engage that consumer. So this is kind of step one to a much bigger plan of how we're going to integrate all this together. It could even get bigger than that. So the smart plan could even be when you take a listing, these things happen. One of those things that happens is a Facebook lead ad is created and published for you. So that could actually, this creation of a just listed paid advertisement could actually be part of a smart plan and just automatically happen and be being pushed out as long as you approve it, as you guys take listings. So this is kind of iteration number one, but it's all going to get much easier as we continue to move forward. Okay, so I see Glenn here has a question on advanced targeting. What you got, Glenn?
Hi, this is Gift. So I set up the audience, right? So if I put on target audience, is there anyone on my Facebook can see it, or just the people that I set up for a specific location?
So you're saying you set up a custom audience?
If I click on set up custom audience,
Yep.
right,
Mm-hmm.
it only target on the person that I upload, for example, right?
So the way this works is, I believe the number is 900. Okay, so Facebook requires their minimum market that they can target, right? Or at least through this Facebook command, is 900 people. So if you create a custom audience of only 52 people, let's say, what I've heard is you will be able to run that ad, but Facebook would have to go find another 850 people to add to your 52. So we make sure that your 52 see it, but then we also have to make sure we play by the Facebook rules, and they'll go find some more people, hopefully, that would also click on that ad.
Okay, so another question. So what about, this is just awareness, and then people on my friend's Facebook to see it? That case, what do you recommend for the?
Well, so if you want people to see it for the custom audience, let me just go over here real fast for the contacts, okay? So this is the way it works. If I click on one of my contacts, the connection for target audience, or be able to target my database, is made in one of two ways. So when I go into Adrian here, two things either need to happen, right? Actually, that's a bad, let me go to someone who has an email. Let me go to Allison Vasquez. All right, so Allison, in her contact card, I have her email address, right? booth_Allison@yahoo.com. If this was also her login for Facebook, the connection is already made, right? Facebook and Command we know who this Allison Vasquez is on both platforms, right? Myself, though, as an example, I do not use my normal email address as my login for Facebook. So if you had my email in my contact card, Facebook and Command could not make that connection. What you need to do is you can go to Edit, and in the contact card, under More Information, under Additional Contact Information, you scroll down a little bit, there is a social profile, and it's for Facebook. All right, so I can actually go to Facebook and click on somebody, right? So let me just click on one of you guys, hopefully, like Esther, real fast. This is Esther's URL for Facebook. And I could copy and paste that back into the contact card, right? I know this isn't Esther, but if it was, I can make that connection there. And now, again, Facebook and Command know that we've got the right person connected together. So in order to use that custom audience situation, this either has to match their login for Facebook, and there's no way to know that unless you ask the person, or this is probably the better thing to do, which is, take 10 a day and go start adding in people's Facebook profiles so you could use that tool.
Okay, so that's pretty good. Thank you so much. So another question that I have is, so this is a brand awareness. I was thinking about, I just want to post something for people or my friends. Doesn't have to be custom. So is it better that I do on Facebook itself or do in Command?
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna finish up with this piece, then I'm gonna hit social posts, and then we can get back to some specifics, okay? So these are paid advertisements, right? The other one here is social posts. So this is free, right? This is if I just wanna go ahead and post on my business page, right? I'm not paying for the sponsorship of that ad, but I'm just posting on my Facebook page, okay? So because I connected my Facebook and my Twitter, it shows me what connected profiles I have down here. Right? Now, again, this is for business pages. Facebook, actually, I'm sorry, for Twitter, this is my personal Twitter account. But for Facebook and Instagram, it has to be the business pages, right? So we connected these in the very beginning when we first started. Now that I have that, you can see over here, it says Facebook and Twitter, right? And so this is actually a calendar that as I create posts and I schedule them, it'll show me where I have things scheduled for, right? And it says today, October 3rd, I have no posts scheduled. So how do we do this? Let's go over here. We're going to click on Create New. Instead of doing Social Ad Paid, we're going to do Social Post. Click on Social Post. Right, and then here I could do, don't forget to join us this Saturday for Oktoberfest. Right, whatever it is that you're doing. Okay. Then I can upload a photo here if I wanted to. I could upload a video. I could also add a link here. So if I wanted to add an Eventbrite link to my Oktoberfest, I could add that here. Right? I could add a photo. So let me just go in here and I'll And I'll just grab a little photo, add it in. Okay. And then down below here, it says, all right, would you like to schedule this post or would you like to publish it immediately? So if I wanted to use this and publish immediately, I could. I know this says sponsored over here. It is not a sponsored ad, right? This works just like Hootsuite or something else where you're publishing it on your page yourself. It's not a paid advertisement or sponsored ad. So schedule post, I can come down here and say, you know what, let's schedule this for, my Oktoberfest is on the 12th, so let's go ahead and schedule this for the 9th. And let's go ahead and post that at 11:58, 57 a.m. So it's not some specific time, right? And I come off of that, and then there it goes. It's saved right there, October 9th at 11:57, right? What pages do I want this to go on? So this is my Twitter here, right? So the same thing, if I had both of them checked down here, I could look at my ad on both. That's what it looks like on Twitter. That's what it looks on Facebook, right? So that's what it looks like on Twitter. And I can come down here and say, great, let's go ahead and schedule that post. Okay, do you want to schedule this post? I'll say yes. Now, when we come back over, right, into command, right, it's going to load up here and it'll start to show me where my scheduled posts are, right? And again, these little blue dots will start to show up on this calendar over here, so I know where I've already created scheduled posts for. Okay, so this is the free version, right? The free side of some of these different products here.
Can you repost the same message again?
What's that?
Can you repost the same message again since you already did that?
Yep. So you can do them all on all your different channels at one time. So I could schedule it once and it could go out onto my Facebook or onto my Twitter. But if I wanted to schedule another post for the 11th, I'd go in here and hit create new and start scheduling posts that way as well.
Well, I'm just saying, instead of create new, can we go back to the old post and repost it again?
No, you're individually creating your own post here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think back to another question about pay ad. I'm planning to pay for the ad for the client review.
Hey, so Gift, let me finish this up here because we're almost at the end of the time, okay? And then I'm going to get into specifics and I'll have you guys reach out to me with specific questions. Okay? All right, so does everyone understand this little section here, which is social posts, right? You can have your drafts up here, and then you should start to see the little dots show up here of your scheduled posts. Make sense? So paid advertising here, organic, just free posting here. But realize, guys, when you post on your business page, unless other people on Facebook, like the people who like your business page, unless they've been clicking on it, they may not see those posts. So the paid campaigns obviously get pushed out in front of more people and may get some more visibility and obviously a much better opportunity to generate leads of people who don't even know about your business page or something along those lines. Okay? All right, so let's wrap up with a couple questions here. Let me go to the chat. These posts will be on your business page, correct? Yes, they will be on your business page. They cannot be on your personal page, right? So at least through Facebook. Facebook does not allow paid advertisement on personal pages. It does need to be through a business page. And then can you boost a post from inside of command? Not that I know of just yet. Nope. So it's either paid sponsored ad or the regular social post. I've not seen the opportunity to boost an ad from inside of KW the way that it works inside of Facebook. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you very much. That was an hour. I've kind of promised I would keep these to an hour. I am recording this call, so I will post this so everyone can go back through it again. I do want to show you over here on my Facebook page, right? KW Alliance Technology Mastermind. Please make sure that you have liked this page. Okay, so KW Alliance Technology Mastermind. This is where I'm posting a lot of the content, and I'll post the recording from this video. It does take a couple hours for it to download and for me to get it up onto YouTube to use, but this is the best place to visit. If you have specific questions about today's class, like Gift, I know you have some specific questions. Once I post that video, go ahead and comment on that thread, and I'll make sure I answer all of your guys' questions from there. Make sense? All right, everybody feel like they learned something? All right, I hope so. Again, sorry I couldn't see you. I'll make sure I've got you guys pulled back up next time. If you have any questions, again, look for that post a little bit today with the recording, and then feel free to go on there and ask me some different questions about it.
Hey, Carl, quick question.
Yep.
I have three Facebook account, like for family,
okay,
real estate.
Yep.
And
so just remember, they all have to be business pages. If they're business pages, you should be able to click them in the drop down on Facebook. Okay, so go Go ahead and try it, Samuel. If you have a problem, I'll have you message me on here, okay? So finish up. 11 a.m. contacts we're doing next Monday, and then we're going back to websites next Monday. And then next week we're going to do a couple other things like opportunities and PieSync. So I will redo these again. We're going to wait and see when the baby comes, and then once the baby's here, I will plan on doing more webinars in the later part of October. But again, these will all be recorded and posted. And I appreciate you guys. And if you have specific questions, go ahead and ask the questions once I post the video. All right. Hope everyone has a great day. And I will talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
See ya.